Welcome to Open Mind Industries podcast, The Mind Unleashed. Sit back, relax, and unleash your mind. Hey guys, welcome to episode 98 of The Mind Unleashed. As we always do, let's give a shout out to our supporters. First one is Lyft, the ride sharing app. Use the code TMUP, I believe for $5 off your first couple rides of Lyft if you're a new Lyft subscriber. Sorry they don't have more, but you know, it is what it is. Also check out 3D Scan to CAD. 3D Scan, it does 3D scanning services for automotive, personal, cosplay, stuff like that. Check them out at 3D Scan to CAD on Instagram, Facebook, etc. Amazing dude. Met up through him through Facebook. Pavel is an awesome dude. He can be pretty much at any shop within the Florida area if you need him. His quotes or his pricing starts at $100 per hour, $100 per hour for parts, stuff like that. He does amazing work, so definitely check him out. Links will be down below. Who else? Please check out Strum & Law. Strum & Law does USPTO and trademarking. If you're looking to get your brand off the ground, I know a lot of people have starting their own businesses and trying to get this done correctly. Check out Strum & Law. Links are down in the description. He is one of the best, honest to goodness, trademark attorneys. So if you're looking to keep your brand legit, get it off the ground, and really cover your ass in, the best legal way, check out strumandlaw.com. I cannot recommend him enough. Also, who else? Is that it? I believe that's it. Hey guys, welcome to episode 98. It has been a long fucking time. I missed you all. It has been a bit. I've wanted to do up past midnight. It's been going to be about 2 months now since we've recorded that. That's a whole another shindig. Dell's going through her own thing, so hopefully we can get back on track with that. But I don't know. So, we're taking a bit of a hiatus there. There's a lot of things going on with her, and I want to get back to geeking out, but this podcast is not about that. So just want to give you guys a heads up what's going on there. If you're looking like, hey, where the hell's the podcast? Well, the other one still on a hiatus. Do I miss chatting with her? Absolutely. But we'll see what happens. Sometimes you just need a break. And, podcast is podcasting. Anyway, in this episode, we are going to be talking about how the hell Open Mind got started. I've been getting a lot of emails, texts from friends wanting to get into 3D printing and starting a business and shit like that. And how did it all become? Why did I do what I did? What does my business partner have to do with anything? What? Why? What the hell? So this is going to be a no bullshit, realistic view of what the hell I did right, what the fuck I've done wrong, tips and tricks, and stuff like that. I did make an outline, so, sit with me for this one. It may not be up your alley, but hey man, if you're trying to get your shit off the ground, and you want to know what I did right, what I did wrong, I got plenty of shit, what I did right, what I did wrong. So, how did Open Mind get started? This is my first question to myself. What was the game plan? What was the future? So, how did I get started? We pretty much, me and John Elizay, my business partner, who I haven't spoken to in many months, a couple years now, he's on call if I need him. And the reason why I really haven't spoken to John, because John's doing his own shit. John was my lead over at Terminator 2 3D. And he was finishing up his degree at UCF, and we started talking. But how it all began, for those who already kind of know, or those who don't know, it all began through John coming outside with a family. The kid was going through hell. They came up, they were using Gold Gap. The Gold Gap pass for Universal is like a special freaking pass to get you to the front of the line. In order to get it, you need to be in serious condition or just, something of that nature. You're going through surgeries or what have you. It's up to Universal to make that call. So what happened was John came out, we started jamming. I'm doing, working the greater position over Terminator. And, we started talking, man. I felt what the kid was going through. I saw the AFOs. What AFOs are, they go on your leg. It's a piece of fucking plastic that locks onto your leg. It's like a foot cuff that's supposed to straighten out your foot. Over time, it fucking hurts. I used to wear them when I was younger because my feet were so fucking, weird looking. My big toes are like, they're like pinballs, like that. I'm not scared to show my people my feet, but they go, and I'm like, oh yeah, my fucking toes. My big toes are like, yeah, and people are like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, what the fuck ever, that's my feet. You don't look perfect either. That's just my thing. But we started talking to that and talked about his chair and how much that cost and shit, and I knew what the family was going through, man. It was a lot of fucking work. And he must be on surgery number whatever, and we started talking and jamming, because I understood what they were going through. And my only positive words to him were, hey man, just keep going. It's fucking, your friends will find you, people will find you, just keep going, keep living. Life's gonna get hard. You're gonna have some suicidal tendencies. Like I've spoken about my own depression, stuff like that. It does get better. For those who are going through it, it does get better. But you need to be willing to get yourself out of that fucking hole. It's you, nobody else who can get you out of that hole. You have to look at the positives to overcome the negatives. And me and John started talking, man, about, crutches and chairs and why shit costs so much. And then I was like, I have this goal for this crutch and this idea, and maybe we can make it lighter and cheaper. A lot of the medical equipment now, I'm big for right to repair now, because right to repair has been fucking the industry for everybody, from computer manufacturing. If you know Louis Rossman from Rossman Repair Group, I follow him a lot, watch a lot of his repair videos. He is a big advocate for right to repair, and Ulinus Tech Tips and all these people, and I'm a big advocate for right to repair myself. I can't afford to donate to it, but I will fucking advocate for it right for fully. It's affecting the 3D printing, the making community. And we'll talk about that in another video, because that's a whole other fucking shindig on what the manufacturers are doing to the 3D printing community. They're really locking it down to, oh, you need to use our shit or our shit only. And no, that's not how it works. I've got a laser cutter here that, if it wasn't for the Cohesion 3D board and being a China board, I totally fucking was able to wipe everything and put a new board in, and now I'm able to use a lot more different software that's a lot more good than the shit that came with it. Sorry, I haven't shaved in a couple of days and just being me. But yeah, that's a big thing there. We just thought about, like, hey, what would be an idea? Like, what should we, I want to start a small business. Let's try something. Let's do something. And then it kind of became, we went to City Walk, and I kind of went to talk to them, and we had lunch, and we went to see a movie, and then we talked about crutches, and we talked about ideas and things like that. And that's where, 3D printers came into key, and then the back magnetic piece came into which I'm still working on. That's a whole other shindig within itself, and it's like, I'm still, sketching shit up for that. I've designed a few of them, and okay, it worked, okay, it didn't work. Building shit costs money, making shit costs money. It's not like everybody's like, oh, let's give you free cash. There's no such thing as free money. There's no such thing as free grants. So, let me put that out there first. If you're looking to start a small business, or, a thing, make sure you know what your goal is. Make sure you know where your money's going. You're not going to be quitting your fucking day job, so I know some people that are like, I'm running a business. Are you really running a business? Like Louis Rossman has said plenty of times, it's how you treat your business. You're treating it professionally. You don't need a fucking shop. You don't need a thing. You could have a shed working out of your shed. My buddy does makeup effects artistry. He's got a shop in his backyard. How he treats his business is how he treats his business. It's very professional. His clients are his clients. His home life is his home life. Everybody's treated beautifully and shit like that. Louis Rossman has said that in a lot of his videos. I'll see if I can post a link to that. How do you treat, what is a business? And that's the thing that I didn't know until now. It's been about a couple years now. We've been about 6 years in, and what do you have to show for it? Quite a lot. Financially, not that fucking much, because I'm in debt. That I will say that'll be another thing. The debt's my problem, but not yours. How the fuck I'm getting out of it? I had to sign up for a consolidation company. The house and shit that I live in now, as a whole shindig with it. So I spoke about my debt. I let credit cards pile up when they shouldn't have piled up. I didn't have the money when I needed to. So now I'm trying to get out, and I'm still behind. I'm behind by a lot of money. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get out of it. And I had Discover Card threaten me, with that. And they call me, well, we're gonna, and I had two people on the line. I'm like, listen, I know somebody else is listening. I know there's 3 people listening to this, but I'm not terrified of you. You don't scare me. You can take what you want from me, but you're not gonna get a blood from the fucking stone. How are you gonna scare me when I'm not scared? Stick me in jail. $8,000 doesn't seem like a lot to many people. Dude, I'm fucking $40,000, $80,000 in debt. One friend goes, how much are you behind? And I said, well, I'm totaled at this. And he goes, oh, that's nothing. I'm like, yeah, for me, it's a lot, because I don't work a full-time job and all this shit and disability and all this shit. So please know, when you start a business, factor your losses and your gains. Can I afford to do this? What tools do I need? Where do I see this going in the future? These are some questions you should be asking yourself. Game plan? Idea? Where do you want to see? Where do you see it going in the next year? Okay? It's going to take you probably 2 to 3 years to figure out what the fuck finally you are. What is Open Mind Industries? What is Open Mind Industries? How did that name come to be? The name came to be, I wanted to call it Handicrap. Michael Pernescu, who's done my logo and shit like that, who's a brother and dear friend of mine, redid our first logo. I still have the original copy of it. And we based it off the flux capacitor and shit like that. Let me turn on the other light. Computer. Turn on bedroom lights. There we go. I got 2 of the Philips hues. So I sat with him and I said, hey man, I have an idea. I told John the name. John's like, I don't like the name Handicrap. I think it's funny. But my mom sat there and went, no. Because my mom always told me, she's like, listen, small head, big ideas. But what if you go into a fucking meeting with, your pitch or your thing or your product that you've been working on and they don't take it seriously? How the fuck do they market it? How do they push it out? How does Medline, or I'm just naming companies that are real companies, but I'm no way affiliated. I'm just giving real names that, how to, make a bot. All these companies, you show them a 3D model or thing that, hey, we need this produced en masse. How do we do it? How do we get it into the hands of consumers that need to use for medical uses or able-bodied uses? And so I sat there on GoDaddy, and I looked up domain names. I don't know how the name can be. And I thought about mind. It's about an open mind. I knew industries was a thing, so I said, let me try Open Mind Industries. Handicrap wasn't a thing. Handicrap actually was already taken by a guy who I looked up and emailed, and it was for helping the disabled whatever. Or I forget the whole shindig of what the hell it was. Emailed them. I was like, hey man, do you mind if I purchase your domain? No, I don't want to give it up or whatever like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to GoDaddy because GoDaddy was super cheap, and I know a Steve Austin show. That's why I actually got the discount from the Steve Austin show. Stone Cold Steve Austin has his own podcast. And it was like, oh, if you sign up for GoDaddy for this, you get it for whatever for the year. You get web hosting plus a domain for next to nothing. My stupid ass, and I will say this, you don't need to do this. So I ended up typing in the name, Open Mind Industries. Loved it, bought it. I was like, okay. Told my mom the name. I'm like, what do you think about Open Mind Industries? And she says, I like it. Told John, I like it. Told Michael, I like it. So we're officially all mine. I still own a domain. We're trademarked with a new domain. That's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that in just a couple seconds. The one thing I would never do, is if you're branching your company out to multiple things, .net, .org, if you're doing an organization, just know what you need to buy. Because it can get very pricey on buying the domains. I think each one, depending on their popularity, can be anywhere from, I think, $9 to $20. My mom's home, so if you hear that, I'm sorry. She's very loud. $9 to $20. Yeah, in that range. I'm now with Squarespace, which the website is not up. So for those wondering, where the hell did the website go? Not many people were going to the website. It was our landing page, but not many people were using it. It's more or less people are using the LinkedIn, the Instagram, and the Facebook page. They're more or less clients can get a hold of me through either one. And I'm like, what's the point? Plus budget was tight this year, so I'm like, with COVID being a thing, and I'm like, I don't have the money for this. So what I did was I bought the domain. I keep renewing our domain, and your domain, you can have it as long as you want, as long as your shit's correct, where you live. That all has to be correct. Where you live, with your actual name, so that somebody wants to buy your domain, they can get a hold of you. But I prefer Squarespace. I've been trying to have Squarespace help us out, but yeah, we don't make enough numbers for them to even want to fucking sponsor us. Why not Squarespace? I'm asking you, why not? What the fuck? What the fuck, man? Honestly, you're like, this episode is sponsored by Squarespace. I can't even be sponsored by Squarespace, and I've been using them for a couple years. I'd recommend, if you're going to use Squarespace, use Honey, the thingy, because I was able to get it for like $100 for the year, so that was pretty flipping good. But I really wish you would scrub me, Squarespace. I'm not trying to hate on you, but love using your web service. It's great, but come on, help a brother out. But yeah, so I ended up buying all the domains for no fucking reason. So I set on openmind.com, openmind.net.org. I bought all the domains because I didn't want anybody else having it. Stupidest fucking decision I could have made. So don't ever do that. Buy the .com, keep the .com. Don't worry about it. So know those basic things. Know where you're going. Get your shit set up. Know your mission goal and your plan. Know that ahead of time. What are you investing into it? What are you doing? Okay, what equipment do you need? Okay, now that you know that, how much you want to invest, how do you plan on making that return? That could be you're making goods and services. That could be you're going out advertising. You're asking for crowdfunding, etc. Now, how we got our funding, because we were broke and I was working a part-time job. John was going to school, and I wanted to make some prototypes of starting to make something. Is I went to GoFundMe, and I said, "Yeah, let's do a GoFundMe. Let's get this started." So I put it out there to some friends and said, "Hey, here's the idea. Here's the goal. Here's the plan." I got so many names to say: Robert Reyes, Dan and Martha, Mark Matthews, Pernesco, Joe Telbu, Aunt Colleen, Carol. I think the list goes on. I think we've had over like 20 to 40 donators, throwing some big fucking cash. By the end of it was 400 and something change. And that was how we got the funding. That's how we got the funding to start the website. How we got to get some product. How we got to get some shit. And if you would have told me that I would be doing 3D printing and research and development, podcasting, out of this whole thing to help other people out and look for better medical services, fuck, you'd be like, you could told Ali this like 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. Would not have believed you. So that's it. That all went. I threw the idea out there. Friends said, "Do it. Do your thing. If it makes you happy, do it." And I try to pay back people tenfold. You know, I was like, I can't ever repay some of these people. They didn't give a shit about that. I even told them. I said, "Hey, man, Judith. Sorry, I forgot to mention your name, but you're not on social media anymore." I talked to all these people, gave them the idea, and told them what I was doing, what the game plan was. And I've repaid some of that in tenfold. I've helped out people that needed my assistance. Some people that needed projects done. Some people that are like, "Hey, man, we have an idea. We don't know how to do it. What are you thinking? Do you know anybody?" So I try to do what I can to repay people back. Pernesco, Michael Pernesco, who built the logo, that was designed out of his own heart. So I always try to give him love and respect for that, because when he built the first one, then when he unfortunately got terminated from Universal for some bullshit, but Michael's doing much better than we are now. He's making like good money now where he's at. He ended up making the new logo, and he's the one that sat down with me and said, "What is your company? What is the game plan down the road? Where do you see OMI?" And I know he kept pushing that down my throat. Not like hard, like physically. He goes, the logo he didn't like, and he didn't like the flux capacitor in the skull. It meant nothing to the brand or the idea. And he goes, what is the goal? You think your goal is this, and this. You want to make something you want to keep researching something. You want to make a better crutch. You want to make a better tip. You want to make something that somebody else can print somewhere else. Now with 3D printing being a thing, that's what I was thinking. I had to explain myself the other day to somebody, and they're like, "What is your goal? Like, what is your end goal?" And so there is no end goal. The end goal is to have a multiple line of things that people can either print in another country or whatever, because 3D printers are now becoming the norm. In maker shops, what have you, and a lot of companies are getting really cheaper with their medical equipment, such as crutch tips, crutches, which I need to walk. Wheelchairs, stuff like that. Stupid small components that you need that break, that otherwise you can just throw it in the trash because there aren't anything. And I was talking to somebody the other day, a part broke on his chair. And he called the company up and they said, "Hey, but we don't make that anymore. You need to either order a new chair, we'll have one ordered for you, or whatever. We don't make that component anymore. stupid part. It was like a spring or something. Luckily, the MDF, or the maker forum that I'm on also, somebody is a machinist. They do machine work, like they do with metal. So they were able to go, wait a minute, what broke? And he looked at it, and he's like, took photos, and he's like looking at it and going, I can actually create that spring. I've got something here in the shop. We have a few springs. Let me see if I can cut something or make something like that. Let me see if I can find you something. So with that guy's volunteered effort, he was able to save this guy's chair. Because this guy is on fixed income, etc., etc. That is my dream. That is my goal. That I don't have to worry about running to a manufacturer and going, oh my god, they don't make this anymore. Which they don't. They don't make them like they used to. I keep telling everybody, they don't make them like they used to. The crutch tips are much different and shit like that. The crutches are much more shittier because they're made in China, and I'm not knocking China one bit. It's just the manufacturing of the companies that are, they'll last you, but your crutches are meant to last you more than 2 years. So I don't walk like a normal person. I'm a 35-year-old dude. It's pretty agile and shit like that. So I'm bouncing off of them. I'm kicking off of them. Crutch discs that I have now will only last me about probably two months if I'm lucky. I was switching out to another grip, or another crutch tip. I don't know why I keep saying grip. I'm thinking about the hand grips that I made from Ninja Flex. They'll last you about that long. It depends on the where you're walking and stuff like that. I even have to carry a knife at work, little pocket knife, to cut my crutch tips because they wear down so fucking quick on all the gravel, the concrete, and I ended up having to get clearance from work because they're like, you can't bring a knife with you. I'm like, I'm not going to stab anybody. This is to make indentations in my fucking grip. And I was showing them, like, listen, man, my crutches, like, they get so, because it's so blistering here in Florida. That's another thing we'll talk about. They get so blistering hot in Florida, it can hit 101 to 120 degrees here. Especially during the hot peak times of 4 to 3 o'clock. My shoe melted to the goddamn ground. One time, I was talking to a neighbor real quick because I was walking. And my neighbor stopped to talk to me real quick and, just kind of, hey man, how you doing? Whatever. And I remember we were sitting there for maybe about 2-3 minutes talking, and my shoe felt kind of tacky. And I went to go pick my damn sole up, and my shoe was actually melting to the blacktop. That's how hot the blacktop was. It was melting my damn sole. I did not know that. You can actually cook an egg on the damn road here. That's how hot it gets. Arizona, Texas, also you can do the damn same thing. California, I don't think you can. I know Arizona, you can definitely do it. And I know Texas, you can, because my friend lives in Texas and did it. And I know in Afghanistan and Egypt and all that shit, you can do it there too. And the thing. But that's the goal. Sorry, we're just getting a thing. Playing a Jack-in-the-Box tonight. That's the goal. Like it's to make a product that, or an idea, to send to a maker's place to save people money. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm at, like, what is OMI? OMI, it's an R&D, research and development and media company. Media, because I'm doing podcasting and gaming and stuff like that. Gaming means so much to me because it's a mental thing. And I want people who are disabled and mental ailments to play and have fun and explore the world, but they don't know how. I told myself, all mine is bigger than me. It is. I hope it grows in its own capacity. It's grown bigger than I ever thought it would be. It's not just a research and development media company. It's when I had to put it on for the taxes, 3D printing and R&D and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, so what do you do? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, I make parts, or I'm researching. What are you researching? Material and time and stuff like that, and this and this. Okay, well, how much did you make this year? I didn't make much, because, it's the economy and blah, blah, blah. Okay, if you made $25,000, then you owe us some money, but if you didn't make that, you're fine. That's what I found out. I talked to our tax person here in Florida, who's in my county, 123 Open Mind Street. And he helped me out a lot. He said, don't be scared, I'm not here to hurt you, I'm not here to scream at you. He goes, what did you make? How much, what do you do? We just need you on file. And I'm like, okay. So I did. Next thing I would do, once you know the game plan, the idea, how much money you're investing into your business, Where do you plan on getting funding? Where do you plan on setting up shop? Maybe set it up at home. If you have a shop or another makerspace. Some people actually offer makerspaces. I know somebody who here in Florida offered me a maker spot. I just couldn't pay the rent. And he goes, "Oh, we can work out rent. We can work out rent." And I said, I can't even afford to pay you like $50 a month for a spot. So I said, let me just stay at home, and we'll do it that way. And a lot of my friends who have makerspaces and their businesses have their shops in their houses or their extended house they have warned me. Said, hey man, be careful with getting a shop. It's so much harder to maintain unless you're making good money to maintain for upkeep, power, etc., water and storage, sewer, and stuff like that. Make sure you know. And I know a few of my friends have shops and they're like, it's just expensive to upkeep. And, if you can work from home, work from home. A lot of my friends have, they either added on a shop in the back of the house, which is a good sized shop, where they're able to do their casting, molding, whatever they do, go to their cons, sell what they gotta sell the product, whatever they gotta do, and stuff like that. So know those factors. Know what you're planning on putting in, know the name, and sit down with yourself or your business partner or whatever and say, here's where I see us going, here's where I'd like to go. Okay, walk down that road carefully. No reason to run. There's no reason to run. There's no reason to fucking spadoodle. Everybody wants to invest. The problem is, you're probably not going to see your investment come back for the next couple of years. Don't be stupid like me and just keep putting money on credit card, money on credit card. If you can't pay the shit back, like I said, my shit is more deeper than usual. But, sorry, my head is really flaky today. Even I wash my face, I don't know why. If you can't pay the shit back, don't spend it if you don't got it. And I wish I lied. Wish I knew about this national debt relief sooner. If somebody is a tax person or better, hit me up. I'd be glad to get some advice on what the fuck to do next. Because I'm sitting there going, how the fuck am I going to get out of this? And I'm still wondering if bankruptcy is the best thing to do or whatever. I don't know. Everybody says don't do a bankrupt because you can't really go bankrupt with what you got. But I just want my plate to be clean. It's COVID and all this shit's been going on, and it's just with no end in sight. But know what you can invest, and don't rush it. Don't rush it. Sit down with your partner, your friend, whoever you're doing it with, and say, here's where we see we're going. Here's our game plan. Let's move on gradually. Work on one project at a time. See where it goes. Don't invest into something. I like the thing that Adam Savage said the other day for his thing. He goes, your tools. Like for me, it's the 3D printer, the laser cutter, the programs, the computers that I need. The software is number 2, and all this shit. Buy the cheap stuff first. See how it improves your productivity and stuff like that. Then invest into the programs you're going to need, like SolidWorks, like ZBrush, like all this shit. And I know I have the Oculus Quest 2, which friends of mine helped me invest into because we're like, what are you going to do with it? Not only do you want to play games, but gaming on it also is good for my health too because I can get my ass up and move. But also VR sculpting is a fucking thing to take it into modeling, which is really, really cool, which you can't do in 2D space. It's amazing. But once you know those things, what are we going to call ourselves? First of all, what the hell are we? Where's our game plan? Stuff like that. How much are we going to invest? How much do we want to make back in return? Know that your investment return is probably not going to come back. You probably won't see that for the next couple years. I'm not even joking. And I've had friends that have told me that, friends that run some legit businesses, flea markets, etc. One of my friends said him and his wife didn't see return until like 5 or 6 years. They didn't see it. They were still they were breaking even most of the time. They were, they would go out and they would pick shit up from a buyer or whatever, and they would go and they would do the thing. They weren't broke, but they were breaking even. They weren't in debt. They were breaking even. Because we saw a little bit of return, but the return that we did get had to go into repairs or the car or our tolls or whatever. So we were talking about that, and he goes, that's one thing he would tell me is to know that. Don't be going into business and going, I want to make a lot of money. The first thing people want to do is become this fucking millionaire. Become Jeff Bezos. Become Elon Musk. No, it's not. Fucking Elon almost had a fucking heart attack. Almost went into fucking deep depression. Jeff Bezos took him years to become what he is. And everybody's like, he doesn't pay enough taxes. Listen, I'm not speaking for what the fuck he does tax-wise. I just understand it. Being a businessman now, listen, you're gonna pay what you're needed to pay. No company's gonna pay more than what they're told to pay. No company's gonna be like, I'll give you more. No. And a lot of things, how Amazon's getting away with their shit, because some people are like, how are they getting away with it? They're investing into their company, which is investing into the return. So you throw money into your company and you keep recycling it. And that's what they're doing. And people are like, all these new programs and shit. Sure, you don't mind the Alexa. You don't mind all this new storage data stuff. It just keeps tumbling over. They know how to keep that money flowing. Yeah, their investments are theirs, but they keep making that money. So that's how that, all these guys are, they're fucking loaded, But they should be, helping the world. Listen, fucking, if you had that kind of money, would you be helping the world? Probably not. Let's be fucking honest. As one CEO said on Joe Rogan's thing, the more you give, the more they expect. And you can never stop giving. And this guy, he donates half of his salary to charity and all this shit. But people are so fucking, he's realized people are so fucking greedy. He goes, I give and I give and I give and I give. But they always want more. It never stops. They always want more. Because I'm doing well. They think I'm doing well. I am doing well, I guess. But people expect you to keep giving. And let me put it this way. If you're fucking making $1,000 a week. Okay, you worked your ass off, made $1,000 a week. Now, you gotta give, fucking 500 of that to somebody else. Every week. Taxman, whatever. And you gotta keep giving it. It's hard. It's your money. When that's how we work, we pay our taxes, and that's how roads are built, and, unemployment's paid, and all this, your medical shit paid. But if you had to keep giving, you'd be pretty fucking pissed. And this is what this guy was kind of saying. He's like, the more I give, the more is expected of me, and it's like, it never ends. I try to do the best I can. I keep these people employed. I try to do the best I can and all this shit, but where does it end? When I'm not fucking praised. You don't see me on CNN and all these fucking places. And the problem is, the more you make, the more they take. That's the one thing I always told when I first got a job. My uncle always told me, the more you make, the more they take. So, I got a friend who makes $1.5 million a year. He works for a good company, big company. Not an asshole or anything like that. This guy went from nothing to something. Many years in this company. Got into this company, worked his ass from the fucking bottom to the top. His job is to go around the countries and work with them and build, some big parts for some big things. I don't want to get the company name out because you guys will probably know what it is. It starts with a G. It's not a car company, but it's a big company that, upstate New York, there's a big factory of it. But they make everything from fucking components to this. But he came down a couple years ago to Florida Coffee, and he doesn't really go on Facebook that much, so we don't really talk that much. But when he did, he was like, "Hey, I don't mean to bother you, but I saw you work for Universal. I'm not asking for tickets, but we're looking to set everything up. I figured you'd be the person to call." And I said, "Yeah, man, what's going on? How you doing?" And I talked to him. I set everything up for him, and I said, "Where would you like to stay?" And he was like, "What's your budget?" And he goes, "Well, money is not really a thing right now. We're okay. Their son has a disability, and so they were wondering about a few things about the park and how they should set everything up." Nicest fucking people you'll ever meet. Like, they would give you the clothes off their back. That's how kind they are. They're not like, no, not at all. Fucking kind as could be. I told them my situation where I was and stuff like that. They're like, oh yeah, we'll come get you if you want. I'm like, okay, so I'll set up your day. I was like, do you want tickets? No, we don't want tickets. What do you recommend though? How do we get to the park and stuff like that? So I hooked them up with that shit, and I realized, like, fuck, they had the same problems that I fucking do. They're still worried about money and shit because the kids are going to fucking school, and they have things, and he has to pay taxes, and he has to travel, and all this shit, and I was like, all that money, and you're still worried about fucking things. God damn. More money, more problems, as Biggie would say. So it's true. It doesn't matter how much you make. Problems come out of everywhere, but some people don't show it. Like I said, he makes $1.5 million a year. I don't even know what the fuck he gets taxed, but god damn. One of the nicest guys I could ever talk about, because like, never talked down to me, always treated me as me, Hey, how you doing? How's your mom doing? How's everybody going? Oh, yeah, we still live in that area. And they live up in upstate New York. So, I mean, they make some good fucking money. They got a nice house. But they're so generous, with they know they're blessed. Like, he knows he's blessed. He's like, oh, we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate. I'm very fortunate. I started from here, went to here. He always talks about, I came from here. He never forgot what the fuck got him there. School got him there. Then he went to the next person, worked his ass off to get where he is. His wife ended up being a teacher and shit like that. And, they ended up starting a family, but like, they're going through the same struggles that you and I are, What are we having for dinner? Like, what fucking debts do we need to pay? Oh god, the house is fucking, we need to still pay that, Okay, and so-and-so's not doing too well, we need to help them out, Mom and dad are kind of sick, And, he doesn't have to worry about fucking, like, food on the table or the car or, whatever, but, I know when he was here, he was super generous. Like, I didn't have to lift a finger. He was like, oh, you're coming to dinner? Like, dude, I was walking with them, and I was dressed as myself, and, we're just talking, catching up, meeting all his kids, and he goes to me, oh, like, he goes, you're coming to dinner, right? I said, oh, I can't afford that. He goes, I didn't ask if you could afford it. I asked if you could come to dinner. So we went to dinner, and they took me to a nice restaurant that I picked out. I said, because they were like, what do you recommend? So I was like, let's try this. It's a good place, blah, blah, blah. And everybody really enjoyed it. And then they're like, oh, are you coming to Disney with us? And I'm like, I don't have a Disney pass. Disney was paid for. And it was just out of the kindness, because he wanted to, number one, see me and talk to me and stuff like that, see how I was doing and stuff like that. And their trip turned out to be really good, and they were talking about like some of the stress that they were going through the year with their son, and the medical stuff that they had to go through with him, and just getting to Florida and all this shit, and just hearing all the travel that he's been doing. And we just really just talked, about like just fucking life and what's been going on. And then, he doesn't really know what's next in his life, and he's not ready to. He's kind of ready to. He's ready for the wind down. He's so tired. He was so tired of traveling. He's traveled the globe like fucking multiple times, but he's like, I want to just stop and just stop. He's like, well, I'll be fine with like fucking, doing nothing for a while. So it was cool to talk with him and spend time with him and his family, and they were super lovely. They were like, they all know, like you said, we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate. They're not religious, not very religious, just real honest people. We're just very fortunate, and we like to help where we can, and we understand people aren't as fortunate as I am. So, we talked about that and shit, but that's one thing, that I like to say, it's one thing people need to know is, yeah, all these business people, you think they're so fucking rich and wealthy, and no, that's not how it works. But that's the thing that I realized is, like, everybody wants to start a business and make so much cash, and you will. In due time. It's going to take time. You really need the game plan of this, and this. The one thing I wish I'd done sooner, which I was terrified to do, like I said, I bought the domains thinking they would protect me, which they do. They protect you. Fair. However, you still need to trademark your name, what your company does, etc., etc. You need to trademark, which I recommend, honestly, guys. I keep plugging him because he's an amazing guy. I had to call him recently again for my my DBO. I need to get a DBO for a bank account because I'm getting a bank account for OpenMind. I want to separate all my business expenses into its own account. I don't want to, when I do my taxes, I want to make sure it's all perfect. Haven't had problems yet. I haven't been audited because I haven't done anything wrong. I hired a CPA on TurboTax. I think it was like an extra $200. I thought maybe this CPA would find something I didn't find, and maybe I get a little more money back. Not at all. The CPA hopped in on the video chat, looked at everything, and was like, everything's correct. I'm like, are you sure? Because, like, did I miss anything? And we talked about a few things, and he was like, no, everything's good. You're set to go. That's what you're getting back, and, you didn't make a net profit, so I'm like, yeah, my books. He's like, well, you're filing for loss, so this is kind of what, whatever. So I was like, what the fuck am I hiring you for? Why did I just spend $200 extra per person? He goes, well, you hired me for the convenience. So if shit does go awry for the IRS, you're covered. So the one thing he did tell me to do was just like keep my materials in order, keep all this in order. Anything I do business-wise, like electricity, stuff like that, put that inside. So make sure also your books are in order. Like, treat your business like a fucking business. Like, make sure your books are in order. If you're filing your fucking taxes, file them correctly. There's no reason to hide your shit. No reason to cook your books. Pay your fucking taxes. Like, because if you don't know, they're going to find out later in life. Which all my taxes are in the computer and they're all backed up. So I am set to go. My dumbass, when I first did, I didn't know to really like have QuickBooks or QuickBooks is good. It's a little more expensive, but it doesn't do everything for you. To export it, it can go to a CPA. I think this year I'm going to be hiring a CPA. I don't know how much that's going to be. I know TurboTax. I feel like I like TurboTax. I like doing it myself, but I think of the CPA, it's nice having an actual accountant to keep an eye on me and smack me in the head. Hopefully we can figure out some shit to gain me back some money to get me out of debt. Maybe that'd be great. But if anybody wants to be my CPA, hey, I'm willing to plug your ass. So I'd like to have an honest to goodness CPA that I can count on and call like, hey, I need help. We can arrange maybe some stuff, but I don't know, theme park related. Maybe I can give you some help, theme park discounts. Anyway, but yeah, like make sure your books are in order, make sure that shit's all done. TurboTax thing was fine. If you like doing your own taxes, that's fine. I have not have a problem with using TurboTax. It's great. The people there are awesome. CPA thing was fine. It was just more than I thought I was needed to spend. I didn't know it. And like I sat there and I was like, why the fuck did I hire you? If I did everything correct. He's like, just for the peace of mind. You did it for the peace of mind. I'm like, I guess so. God damn it. I felt gypped. I felt gypped out of the audit, thing, but, audit protection. But I was like, what the fuck? I'm fine. But I think this year I'm gonna hire an actual accountant service that I can account on for next year. That way I can, just not have to worry about that at the end of the year and just hand in my receipts and stuff like that. Also, make sure to tax yourself. So if you're doing, I learned from another friend's business, Daniel Weiselberg, who does CAS. He doesn't do CAS anymore. Works for he doesn't have his own business anymore. That's why I don't. If you listen to previous podcasts, I keep supporting him. He doesn't run his own business anymore. He does do DNA stay out, so if you'd like to check that out, feel free. But what he does is, Daniel forgot to tax himself. Because he does a lot of drone shooting and interior shots for homes and houses. And so like that, he forgot to tax himself. So, tax yourself like 10 to 15%. So if you make $100, tax yourself 15% or 20% off of that. Put that into a savings account. And let that shit kind of build itself up. By the end of the year, your taxes will be covered. So you tax yourself. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Another friend of mine and Daniel's told me that he was like, make sure to tax yourself. And I don't make much from 3D printing, or like people do commission me. I'm breaking even. I'm barely paying for material. Like I'm barely making anything. I'm fucking just breaking even, or not even covering my material, because people. Not saying people are fucking cheap, but yeah, they're cheap. You try to be, when you start your business, you try to be as cheap as possible for your friends to come in and build your name. And my 5.0 rating is fucking a 5.0 rating because I treat my business like a business. Yeah, if I flip the camera around here, I'm sitting in my damn bedroom on a futon, comfortable futon. 2 3D printers sitting here, laser cutter here, PlayStation 5 there. I'm not better than anybody else. I just put money aside for the PlayStation 5. Don't pay for what I paid for it. But something I wanted. My parents have my PS4, which they love. Everything I get new, I hand it to them, and they're like, oop. And they've been playing up with the PS4 for like months now, and they love it. But yeah, treat your business like a business. Make sure your shit's in order, stuff like that. That's one thing I would do. Trademark, Sherman law, like I said, Trademarking, what it does, it protects you from distinguishing your brand and protecting you for people trying to step over you and go, hey, I do this for this. So with us, I found Strum & Law through Jeffrey Stroman. I found him through Thumbtack because one day I realized I was doing an open mind thing and this guy kept getting a higher search result above me. And I realized why that was because he ended up using a higher SEO, which is a search engine optimizer or whatever. So don't be worried about that. He just paid more money and I didn't. And I got nervous and I told Pernesco, I was like, what the fuck? And Pernesco was like, bro, is he stepping on your toes? I'm like, well, he's claiming to be me, but he's not me. We are the official oh my. And he's now gone. Like, the guy is now kaput. I looked him up and he's popped up a couple times, but first he was doing this, and he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, then he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And I talked to Jeffrey Sherman through Thumbtack, and he was like, hey, so I can help you. And I really can't say what he charged me because I told him I wouldn't, because what he charged me was wild because I was struggling, still am struggling, but he was able to help me through X, Y, and Z and say, hey man, let me help you get started. Let me help you protect you. My trademark is good till I think 2028. So I gotta make sure I have enough money to pay that filing fee again because it does expire and you gotta re-put it in. So it protects us for 3D printing services, which I can make anything through 3D printing. So we're trademarked for 3D printing. So anything I do machine-wise, I'm fine. So for goods and services, what have you. Because that's why we specialize in. And 3D printing is like a big thing to me because having those is amazing because you can make anything. And like I said before, being able to send that file over to somebody else in another country or state who doesn't have the design mindset or the build mindset, you send it over, you send a how-to guide on how to build it. They can print it, or a medical service or a hospital can say, cool, we have what we need for this client or this patient. Print it. Open Mind Industries did it. Here's what we paid for them for their whatever. They sent it. I can literally send somebody over the whole fucking file and how-to, and boom, it goes. So that's a cool thing, which I have seen done. But you want to make sure that's done. What else? Sorry. Tipo texting. GoFundMe, 3D printing. How did I make my decision to get in 3D printing? That's a good one. How did I make my decision to what 3D printer company to go with? Well, my brother Matt. I ended up using his credit card and I ended up getting the cheapest 3D printer I could find at the time. 3D printers were still on a thing. Creality didn't exist. MakerBot existed, but MakerBot was probably the highest right now. They're still out there. Robo 3D was my second printer, and I still say to this day, overpriced for what I paid for it. I should have waited and got it on eBay or whatever because I think I spent like $800 on it, and it didn't have everything I needed, but it's still sitting on my desk. I still use it. I need to reprogram the fucking thing, and XYZ printing is the one I went with first, and my parents ended up helping me get the first one to use. The bedside wasn't great. It was just to help me kind of build some parts. Would I recommend that company? Never again. Stay away from them. They're just shit. They're shit. I can't recommend them to save my ass. The shit broke down so many fucking times. And I had to send it back. Send it back first time, then I lost it through FedEx. It was delivered to my neighbor that I found out. I had to deal with them for like a month. They finally sent me a brand new printer, and then the fucking FedEx girl was like, oh, I found it. And I decided, fuck it, I'll keep the other one too. And then I emailed them, and they're like, you can't keep another one. That's technically stealing, blah, 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 blah. So I had to call my attorney and say, hey, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, dude, you can't keep the other one. You gotta send it back. He's like, keep the new one, have the other one sent back. So I did. I had the other one sent back to them. They had to pay for the fucking postage. Because that was on them. And, yeah. What happened was the board kept going out on it. The fucking extruder kept dying. The fuse kept blowing out on the extruder. And I ended up getting the Robo because I wanted to get into flexible filament, which is NinjaFlex, which is TPU, TPE, flexible filament. And what that is good for is any kind of flexible, like RC car tires, crutch tips like I'm working on now, hand grips, which I've been making, which are a big help. If you guys look at our Instagram page, you'll see what I'm working on with that, with Jodelle. Jodelle has since left the company. She retired since COVID became a thing, and I wasn't able to get her phone number to contact her to make her a new one. And she fucking loves the thing. All it was a little pad that I made for her cane, which when you're pushing down on your crutch, it causes so much pain in the palm here, which shoots up your arm and then causes carpal tunnel with the grip. And when you're gripping on your cane or your crutch, your nerve endings and your carpal tunnel and stuff like that happens. So I was talking with NinjaFlex, and NinjaFlex, I got to give them a big fucking shout out. Ari's Poppies and JN, who left the company, JN Thompson. I don't even know if Ari's still there or anybody. I've not talked to NinjaFlex in so long. But I do have an email to a marketing manager over there that I hit up, and I was like, hey man, I want to be a partner with you guys. I want to like sell some filament. And they were very lovely, man. They were like, hey man, like what can we do for you? So I was like, hey man, here's the thing you guys did. But I did pay them back tenfold. So what they sent me, I bought back in bulk. I bought fucking like 5 or 6 rolls of it. I got Ninja, I've got Cheetah, I've got Semi, I've got some other stuff. So I bought like 6 rolls of filament because this stuff is really good. Is it a bit expensive? Oh, fucking absolutely, it's a bit expensive, but the quality of it is amazing. So if you're looking for good TPU, TPE, and you're not looking for bullshit, I would recommend them. I can't recommend other companies yet because I haven't played with other things. I need to that's the hardest part with 3D filament. 3D filament is, quality diminishes in some areas. But anyway, so, I ended up getting a robo for that. I talked to Alan Lincoln over at Evil Monkey Studios, who is not on Facebook anymore. He has a YouTube channel, Evil Monkey Studios. I'll put a link down below if you guys want to check him out. Really cool cat. Awesome cat. He makes amazing cosplay work. This guy is... If you go around the theme park at Universal Orlando, you'll see some of his work there. Excuse me. At Volcano Bay and stuff like that. And Harry Potter, Diagon Alley, and Galaxy's Edge, actually. Amazing cat, really cool cat. I don't have to worry about like not knowing shit because he was really helpful with the 3D printing thing. He was like, hey man, what do you want to know? Like, are you trying to get into it and stuff like that? And I was like, yeah man, here's like, I want to get into it. I want to start making parts, and sending it out to manufacturers is very fucking expensive. It's better to 3D print something, take a look at it and go, this works. Okay, how do we translate that to a CNC machine? How do we translate that into a die? Yada, yada, yada. But I ended up getting the Robo. Like I said, the Robo was very overpriced. In my opinion, very overpriced. Robo was very kind. The community was very good. I did help out one dude, who, his Robo started fucking up. He tried putting a LED board in, and then the board kind of effed up, and yada, yada, yada. And, I tried helping him with that, and it just kind of, so I don't know. Brother feelers, and then I apologize for not knowing much about it. But everybody's pretty much kind of fallen down that gap. You got Persa, which is Persa's like, I love Persa printers. I've never used one. I've seen them. They're very, very fucking expensive for what they are. But the quality is really good from what I've been told. I've got 2 friends that have Persas, and they're like, ooh. And I'm like, oh. They're like, oh. I'm like, good? They're like, yeah, they're really good printers. And I'm not knocking Joseph Persa and the Persa company. I've talked to Persa, and they've been very, very beautiful company. They were very sweet and kind to me. I tried to get into resin printing. Which, the next thing I'm going to say to you guys is the beg game. The beg game. The beg game to me, if you can see the camera, because my breathing coming down. The beg game was throwing out emails. Hi, my name's so-and-so. 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 Companies fucking hate that. Now, I've unfortunately had to rat out like 3 of people in some companies. And ZBrush was one of them, sadly. And I ended up buying a ZBrush Core. It was cheap at the time. I really couldn't afford it, but I have it now. I'm still learning it. But the reason why I started asking and putting the calls out for help was, I was told by a man at upper, pretty big fucking company, I forget who it was. I forget the company, I do remember the guy. He said to me, why didn't you ask sooner? I said, I didn't know I could ask. He goes, listen, if you don't ask, we don't know what to do for you. So, I took that to heart, his advice took it to heart. He said, the worst thing you're going to get told is no, or go fuck yourself. Daily, I used to get about 60 no's a day. No, thanks for calling us, but no, let us know when you have money. No. People don't. Companies gotta make money. That's first and foremost. I understand that. Ninja Flex was super kind to send me out some stuff, and they were able to write that off as a tax expense. But I paid them back in tenfold by buying more filament. The minute I realized what I could do, I was like, I gotta buy more. So I did. I ended up buying more. So whatever my paychecks were bringing in, I was able to buy more filament from them. And I don't regret it. And there's some 3D stuff that I bought that wasn't so good. I've asked for a sample, and they're like, hey, we'll send you a sample. Right now, that's become a thing where you can ask for a sample, but they're not going to send it. They're not going to email. It pretty much goes to their junk mail, especially China. The China companies like Elegoo and shit like that. If you're not a big YouTuber, they're not going to hit you up. An embarrassing thing I've ever done. I emailed up on Jesse, if you know who he is. And that was about a year ago. I emailed him a question, and I'm pretty sure he fucking went to his junk mail, or he ignored it. And he seems like a really nice guy. He lives where I live in upstate. Used to live in upstate New York. That's why I was like, oh shit, he lives up in upstate New York. Holy fuck, I know exactly where he lives. I know the exact area where he lives. I know exactly what area he's in. But I was like, let me fucking ask him. Let me ask him a bit of advice. And he didn't respond, and that's okay. I shouldn't have asked him, but I was like, hey man, how do you, the question to him was, how do you get to talk to all these companies? What are some of the things you get to ask them? Because they're sending him products and shit like that. I don't want to be an influencer, but I'd like to test some of the products to give them feedback. And that's what I kind of put in one of my emails to people. I'm not here to be an influencer. I'm here to test your product to see if I want to buy the product, and hopefully give you some feedback. Luckily, Ninja Flex was one of them. They were like, we want feedback. And I gave them feedback. And I said, hey, I'm willing to, in return, give you fast feedback. And I sent them a lot of feedback. I said, hey guys, this is the temperature I'm using it as, this is heat, this is blah, 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 blah. And they're going, well, how's it working? I said, well, it's working, but this is, the infill quality and stuff like that. And they were great. I've talked to a few companies. I've only met maybe 3 or 4 companies that have been very helpful on that front. Have they required to help you? Fuck no. A baker can't be a chooser, but don't be afraid to say, hey man, is there a chance I can get a test piece or a test part? Some will say yes, some will say no. I had one company say, absolutely, we'll send you to you, but can you, they wanted me to upfront the cost first, and then they would reimburse me the cost. And I was like, well, that doesn't really work out. That doesn't, it's like I asked you for a sample, and yet I got to pay for the sample. So I might as well just buy the fucking thing and not give you any feedback. Huh. So I know a few people like makers that they do that. They just buy the shit because there's no fucking need to, ask for samples. I still do. If it's a company I like, I talked to Snapmaker. Snap has been very, very sweet. They were very, very kind to me. Poapoly, fucking amazing company. When I was looking for resin printer, I talked Poapoly, Snapmaker, and Persa. Oh, who else? I think those are the only 3 that got back to me. Yeah. Actually got back to me. Poapoly, they were sweethearts. Absolute sweethearts. Persa, sweethearts. Lovely, kind people. Oh my god, their customer support team was amazing. Their R&D teams were amazingly beautiful. And what they told me was, Persa wrote it out. Poapoly read through the fucking full email. Somebody must have read through it all, because they not only listened to me, what I said, but answered me in a beautiful way. The most kindest, beautiful fucking way. And the response to me was, Ollie, we'd love to help you. However, the tech's not there yet. and this person read through my email, was like, hey man, like, what's up with the slicer? How does it work? What are my options? Blah, blah, blah. And they were like, no, it sadly, with the way that machine works and the bed size and all this shit, it's just not going to work for you. It's just, it's a waste of, number one, waste of money, waste of fucking time. The slicer is trash. The material's not there yet, unless you go to Forum Labs, which I don't recommend. Don't go to Forum Labs. They're a great, I mean, honestly, if you got the money, if you're a commercial grade, and you got money to burn, like if money is no fucking object, and you want to be ripped off, go to Forum Labs. I can't. And I'm not speaking out of my ass. I had a meeting with Forum Labs, and I've talked to Forum Labs many times. But when Frank Ippolito and some high-tech fucking makeup artistries are talking about them directly through Twitter, and they're saying that they can't get parts, people, even when I was on a post on Facebook, and even somebody else hopped on my post and was like, I was like, oh man, they're great for like commercial grade, if you can afford them. And somebody goes, I run a commercial business, they're not even that good. Oops. Yeah. Like I had a friend that owns 2 of them, and he's literally, they were so bad, he fucking donated them. He donated them to a charity. I was like, really? He was like, where's your Forum Labs? He goes, oh, the Forum 2? Yeah, I donated them. He now owns, he owns a Poopoly, and he owns something else now. He owns like 3 of those, because the build plates are so fucking huge, and they're so easy to repair and, get parts for. But like I said, Poopoly was so beautifully kind, and they read through my email, and they're like, hey man, we'd love to help you, really, really would. The problem is, it's just financially, this is what it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you more to know that this isn't going to work than to send something to you and it not work. It's like, what the fuck's the point of sending something to you when the technology's not there yet? And that wasn't them being rude. It was just them being very, very upfront with me and saying, hey man, this isn't going to work. We're sorry. We respect you. We're pulling for you. Persa was the same way. They read through it carefully and said, hey man, we were pulling for you. Unfortunately, we can't give you anything because right now we're still working on our stuff. And I said, well, can I be a tester for like help you guys out and like get some stuff? And like, I'm not looking to make money off you. I'll give you the damn printer back. I even asked Forum Labs that, years ago, and that one got a dislike from Forum Labs, which I could give 2 fucks. Because Forum Labs is Forum Labs, And when Frank Ippolito, he works with Adam Savage, who's a fucking mythbuster, and I'm talking to him personally. I'm talking to Frank fucking personally, and Frank's like, no. And then another makeup artist industry works for fucking Universal Pictures, which I work for Universal, but I don't work for the production side. Then when they say no, apparently I wasn't wrong. So when they're like, stay away from that fucking printer, man. That's gonna cause you more headache than fucking fix. Apparently the parts were hard to come by. Shit's hard to come by. It's more upkeep than it makes good prints, but somebody said subpar, very subpar. And Adam Savage just bought one for like $8,000. I'm like, I checked the printer he has for him, and I'm like, $8,000, motherfucker! Guy's got money. For $8,000, he could have bought fucking 2 big ass resin printers. And made more parts, probably. I'm sure. I guess he wanted something that was like, whatever. But whatever. He's Adam Savage. He can do what the fuck he wants. But yeah, like that was a thing where I had to like get told no. And that's not a problem. But I'm glad when companies stepped up to me and said, hey man, love to help you, but the tech's not there. This isn't there. Please take it with a sign of respect and not disrespect. And I didn't. I wrote them both back and said, thank you for answering my email. I kindly appreciate it. You took the time out of your day. I took the time out of my day. And yeah, granted, most companies are so used to seeing generic, I would like. It's like, the one company I did have to report was ZBrush because the one dude got, all you fucking influencers always wanting free shit. And I went above that person's head, and then the marketing director of something fucking from Z got a hold of me directly and said, hey, how you doing? So, and they apologized up and down. They said, that person has been talking to, they read the email. I sent them the copy of the email, and I was like, I didn't appreciate that. You know, you don't fucking come at me like that. I asked a simple question. You could have said, unfortunately, no, we don't offer that. Thank you. Thank you. If you'd like to look up, maybe you can look at some other options. We do have some other options. All I asked was for, a discount, because if you don't ask, you don't fucking know. Like that one guy told me, if you don't ask, you don't know. The worst thing they could tell you is no, or go fuck yourself. And this person decided to tell me to go fuck myself in the most rudest way. Which I turned that back around, because I didn't appreciate the way the fucking wording was done. And blasted him to his boss. And it went up the chain, though. I went past that motherfucker's boss to the high up VP boss. And the VP boss was the one that got a hold of me. And apparently the two bosses below them were fucking yelled at for that. Because, you don't do that. And he apologized. He goes, so-and-so. And he made sure that fucking dude... I did get an apology from the customer service rep that I dealt with. And he apologized to me and said, sorry, I out of spoke. I forget what the email exactly said. I spoke to you. I'm sorry. It's been, that was uncalled for. You were very polite. Something like that. I spoke out of context. Please accept my sincere apologies. That was uncalled for. You didn't deserve that. So he kind of just said, like, hey, man, I'm sorry. It was out of context. I should have never, I should have read through your email. You asked a polite question. I wasn't looking for something for free. I was asking for, is there possible a discount? Because you don't know. A lot of companies I've hit up with, are there possible discounts at all? There's shipping, because a lot of companies I do hit up and they say, oh, you should have fucking emailed me. So I do. I email a lot of companies and say, hey, are there any discounts at all? Are you guys doing a package deal, or are you doing a fucking bulk deal? Because some companies will do that. I emailed up one company. I needed a couple rolls of filament. So I hit them up directly. I'm like, hey, do you guys do a package deal? And they said, yeah. How much do you need? I said, how about, can I get 4? And they're like, actually, we can do blah, blah, blah for this. And I'm like, cool, let's do that. So, yeah, like if you're doing a fucking bulk order, a large order, it saves them money. And they're like, hey, fuck yeah, let's partner. So, yeah, do that sometimes. But, like I said, ZBrush was the only one that and no knock on ZBrush. I use their software and it's great. Still learning it. Some good ZBrush artists out there, but yeah, that was the only person that I had from Z that was very rude, and I had to go above. I shot it off above somebody else and said, hey man, I didn't appreciate the way. And the way I don't have the email. I think I still have the email in my file. I still do, I think. I don't want to share it with anybody. It was just that rude. I shared it with Bernesco and a few others, and everybody goes, that was fucked up. And I went, yeah, it was fucked up. So, what do I do? And they're like, I think you need to bring it to a superior. So I did. I brought the superior and shut it up. And I went to the VP, and the VP shot down to me. And the VP apologized up and down. And then the person that I spoke with, I'm pretty sure got reprimanded or yelled at. And then an email went back to me of sincere apologies. Which I accepted the apology. I understand. You got a lot of shit going on. You're answering a lot of fucking bullshit customer service emails. But, I asked you in the most fucking politest way, I wasn't looking for free software. I was looking for a discount on the software. 20% off, 10% off. Because that does happen. Some fucking companies are like, hey, we're doing a fucking 5-day sale. If you buy this fucking license, we'll give you this license for, 3 months. Because it's going to make you want to come in and try their fucking product. So, you never know. But yeah, I digress on all my blabbering. Sorry. What else? Yep, XYZ was shit. Evil Monkey Studios, getting me into R1. Talked about NinjaFlex. Yep, talked about that. Getting the company's emails, all that bullshit. Why are you, or at least... so this was a fun one. I was at the Fringe Festival. And for those who don't know what that is, the Fringe Festival is like a local thing here that we do. It's very huge in other states and countries and shit. It's for artists and artisans to do shows that you would normally not see in theaters and stuff like that. So I was there, my girlfriend at the time dropped me off there because she had to go to work, and I ended up staying to just watch a show because she won some tickets, so I ended up watching a few more shows and supporting a few more friends. And I was going to take a lift home to my home, my house, my apartment. And I sat down with the head of marketing, my buddy, who knows what I do. And he was like, hey, man, you should talk to my friend over here. So he walked me over and he introduced me. He says, sit down with so-and-so. So I sat down with this dude and we started talking. And this guy works for a head of marketing around Orlando, and he's worked with like hospitals and marketing teams and all that kind of shit and how to get their stuff out there, templates, etc., etc., etc. And he gave me some words of advice. And the words of advice were, if I can remember, let me fucking pull this up on Facebook because I want to get the exact terminology of what he said. Let's see if Ollie can find his post. Marketing manager. Okay, here it is. I posted something on September 15th. So I'll read the whole post to you guys. Sorry, this podcast is going weird. So I wrote, so in the past month or so, I've been asked by a lot of friends about 3D printing, making, creating, podcasting, business advice. So I'm going to make the next topic of The Mind Unleashed, The Mind Unleashed. When I was at the Fringe Festival a year or two ago, I was introduced to a marketing manager. I thought his name was Steve or Steven. Still don't really know if it was Steve or Steven. It was either of those two. We talked for maybe 2 hours sitting at the bar tent. The best advice he gave me was just be yourself and say fuck them. So, terminology of that, be true to yourself. Because people can read between the lines. So just be yourself. There's no need to hide who you are. There's no reason to lie. It only causes more problems down the road. Not everyone is going to like you, support you, encourage you. Many would rather see you fail and be miserable. So fuck them. Surround yourself with those who will move forward every day. So, pretty much, that's what he pretty much said. He said, fucking, number one, don't lie. Be yourself. Fucking podcast, be yourself. Don't put this facade on it. You gotta go. You pull off. And when people actually see who the fuck you are, they're like, don't like him. He not who he said he was. And I've always, to day one, told you guys this on the podcast. For those who have been my loyal listeners, or a friend of mine who never listened to the fucking episode, has never listened to The Mind Unleashed ever in his life. He just clicked on subscribe because he supports what I do. And he told me that directly. He said, I don't listen to anyone in your podcast. I've never watched one of your videos. I've never done anything. The reason why I clicked subscribe is because I support what you do. And some of you guys might take that as criticism, as, fuck, that's fucked up. No. He supports what I do. He loves. He's like, every time I see you post something, I put a like to it. Because I want to encourage you. And I thought that was beautiful. Like, I didn't take it as disrespect. It's like, he has so much fucking going on that, why would he? But he's like, I've always been a loyal subscriber. I never listened to one of your podcasts. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. I have so much going fucking on. But I'm going to support you to the end of my fucking days. Because I want to see you succeed. I thought that was beautiful. But, don't lie who you are. Always tell people what your goal intentions are, who you are, your filthy fucking mouth, because I have a filthy fucking mouth. Because when you finally see behind the scenes of who that person really was that runs the company, or who you idolize, like it's that saying that Trent always told me, my buddy Trent, don't meet your heroes, Who they are in real life, man, it might really scare you. That facade that they put up for you on the camera or whatever, that's a facade, that's the character they're playing, but what you get from me from the podcast is who I am. I don't want any company later down the road, or a fan, or a guest, or what have you, going, he's not really like that, no, you fucking click on this play button or like button, you know exactly who the hell I am, you know exactly what the hell you're getting, and you're okay with that. And I prefer to be that. You can't please everybody. Don't try. And nor will I. Well, I will never be perfect, and I don't want to be, and it's like, I'm not going to put a facade up for you. I'm not going to shy away my faults and my truths, and because you don't deserve that, I don't deserve to lie to you. And that's the one thing I can tell people when you're running a business, too, is be yourself. Stay on track, stay on your focus, stay on your goal. Many people forget that because they're like, oh man, it's just not working, I need to go here, I need to go there. Stay on your fucking path, you'll get there, it just takes time. Everybody has a thing that they're directly good at, or whatever. This thing of, oh my god, I need to be this person, or better, or what have you. It's hard. It's fucking hard. But you're gonna get better and better at what you do. It just takes time. But that's what that marketing manager told me, is be yourself, number one. Fucking, just be honest with people. Fucking, surround yourself with people who are going to better you, and you're gonna better them. Not everyone's gonna fucking like you, but fuck them. I think that's what he kind of said, because he's like, you remember so-and-so over at this fucking company here in Orlando? You remember she got caught fucking embezzling money, or fucking this is who she really was? I think it was excuse me. There was something that popped up, and she, let me put my thing down. Ooh, my laptop's warm. Hey, look at my room. You're sitting on the futon. Let me get a sip of coffee. Coffee. For those watching the video, my crappy room. I live out of my room like it's a college dorm. But she ended up doing something stupid, and then she got caught down the road. I guess a camera or cell phone was on. They're like, I don't care about this goddamn blah, blah, blah. I'm here for the money. It's like, yo. But that was the thing. So I've learned to be myself. Learn to be who I am. And I've said that down the road many, many, many times to everybody. It's not worried about, if you're going to get in bed with me or be friends with me or whatever, I need you to know who I am. And I need to know who you are. I don't take advantage of people. I don't chase anybody. That's the one rule I've learned, is don't chase anyone. If they want to be a part of your goal, your objective, they'll always be there. They're never going to leave your side. I've got friends I can call on in a matter of minutes, and they'll always be here. And that's the thing. Somebody's like, well, one of my friends just emailed me the other day, and he said, I haven't heard from you in a long time. I said, dude, I'm always here. My phone's always on. My office phone's always on. My emails are always up because they're all public. What do I have to hide? There's nothing to hide from you. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to was gonna turn the fan on this damn thing. I'll leave it be. My laptop's getting a little hot. This is a 2013 MacBook. I bought this off Amazon. But, anyway. Just be yourself, be honest, be upfront with people, and they'll accept you for who you are. You don't have to fucking put this facade on of, I'm G, I like you, giggle. I remember, I met a few people that are, out of character, and I'm like, holy shit, that's what they really are. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I can see through the bullshit on some people. And usually I'm about fucking either 80% or 75% right. Once I meet you, I can pretty much figure out who the fuck you are. And I'm not usually wrong. I pick up on people's body language and who they really are. And the funny part is, when this guy told me this at the beer tent, I kind of, not laughed, but I kind of just, I listened to him, but I was like, this guy isn't drunk. We're both not fucking hammered. So he's obviously telling me something true, that, be yourself, number one. Don't give a crap what people think. And surround yourself with good people. And, they'll get you to where you need to go. But you also need to offer something in return to help them, So you need to be able to, be by their side too. But if someone believes in what you're doing, I've always told my friends I'm a kind-hearted asshole. I'm a fucking asshole. I really am. And it's just who I am. Assholes get shit done. Pussies sit in the corner. But you gotta just stay on the fucking path of what you're doing. And you just don't sugarcoat people. Really, it's why all these things, like all these Kickstarters and all this shit goes and goes and goes, people are trying to make the next buck, the next fucking thing, Shark Tank ideas, all that fucking bullshit. I want this much investment, yada yada yada. And Shark Tank, if you don't realize it, that's just fucking TV, honestly. That's just TV. I mean, I've had so many people like, you need a grant, you need to go for grants. And I'm like, there's no money. There is no fucking free money, you know? The one thing that happened when I was young, fucking years ago, a couple years ago, when I first started with John, somebody came up and offered me $24,000 as investment collateral. And I turned it down. And there were many reasons why I turned that shit down, because I was like, can't pay you back. Number one, I don't know where we're going to be in the next couple years. $24,000 sounds like a lot of money for many people. Like, I would have fucking taken it, and I would have done this, and people were already like picking, oh, I could have done that. But my smart ass was like, don't do it. I mean, this was a good person. And this person looked at me and said, do you need help? And we sat down with me, and he's like, tell me about your plan. Tell me about your idea. And he literally picked my brain. He picked my fucking brain he went deep into me. He was like, what's the goal? What's the plan? How do you plan on doing this? Who do you plan on putting there? Da-da-da. He picked every fucking part of it and goes, and he was dead ass. He looked at me and dead ass and goes, how would $24,000 help? And I went, $24,000? He goes, what do you mean? He goes, I'm willing to give you $24,000 today. I shit you not. He would give me $24,000. They would have put $24,000 in my special account for me to use. Because I'm going to give you $24,000. And I want to see you use it. And I want to see what you come up with. And I want to see you bring some people in to do this idea. And I declined it. I declined it 3 times. I said, no, I can't do that. I told him the truth. I said, like, I can't fucking pay you back. I don't know where the fuck this company's going. I don't know where it's going to happen. I didn't even know I was going to start a fucking podcast. Would that $24,000 have helped? Don't know. I don't have an MBA. I don't have a business degree. You know. Who the fuck would I have brought in? John had people he could bring in. But how the fuck do you pay somebody back $24,000? There was this guy. A few people that might listen to this podcast will probably know I'm around Universal. So I'd walk to work from West Winds, which is on Kirkman Road, and right by Universal. And this dude would stop all the time. I guess he did car auctions. So he'd go to the car auction and whatever, he'd buy cars or whatever. But this dude would fucking always, hey man, what bank you bank with? Chase. You know, he'd stop you. Hey, what bank you bank with? Chase. Hey man, you want to make $1,000 right now? Okay. Do I want to make $1,000 right now? Sounds sketchy, don't it? Sounds real fucking red flaggy. Gotta remember, from New York, not from Florida. Ain't nobody gonna hand you $1,000 right now. Nobody. Without an agenda. What's that agenda? Say I took that $1,000. And I explained this to the guy. And the fourth fucking time I met this guy, he stopped my bro, he stopped a couple of my friends, and if somebody else, he stopped somebody, went to the next person, went to the next person, went to the next person. Who the fuck carries $1,000 in a wad in their driver's side passenger seat? In driver's side compartment? Now, apparently this guy was legit. Not saying he was doing anything illegal. But that's not how you start a business. That's not how you get people on your shit. That's bad marketing, in my opinion. Apparently he was legit. Apparently he did car auctions or whatever. He was doing this thing. Fucking. You never ask somebody where they bank. You never show them the cash, because that's just bullshit front money. Nice. And then the guy was with his buddy one day. He stopped me again. He goes, "Bro, what bank you with?" And bro asked me. I said, "Bro, I bank with Chase." I said, "What do you need to know?" And I said, "Brother," I said, "I run a business too. A small one." Now, I love the word small business too. Because when I go, it's a small business. A business is a business depending how you treat it. It could be one employee, it could be two employees. Like Louis Rothman just fucking said that in his videos. A business is a business depending on how you treat it. The more professional you are, I know a fucking guy that runs a computer shop. Runs a small fucking, him and his brother run a computer shop. Out of their garage. They fix fucking laptops, desktops. Business is pretty good, from what I know. They haven't moved out of the house because the house is paid for. What's the fucking point? The garage is completely converted into a shop. People come by, drop their shit off. Off it goes. You know? Pretty good reviews, too, from what I've been told. But, back to this fucking guy. Like, you're gonna give me $1,000 for what? Okay. You give me $1,000 right now. I put that in my bank. Now I owe you $1,000 worth of work. Now how many hours a day do I gotta work for you to pay that $1,000 off? Are you gonna fucking, what's my rate gonna be? Is it gonna be $7.50 an hour? $1.50 an hour? I'm not talking about like $100. I'm talking about $1.50. I'm talking about $7.50. You know, $7. You know, this is how my mind thinks. I ain't fucking stupid. You gave me $1,000. Now do I work for you for fucking 3 months, 4 months, 5 months? How is this $1,000 paying you back? What is my goal? Because I'm not making out ahead. No. You are, motherfucker. You just handed me $1,000. Now I must have to fucking pull some fucking hours for you. And nobody makes more money than the boss. Remember that. That is business advice number 1. Nobody makes more money than the fucking boss. And I want all you guys to fucking remember that. All you business people that get in the business, nobody makes more money than the boss. I don't give a fuck if you're the small business owner, this person, that person. The boss will always come out on top. No matter fucking what. So if you think you're fucking slick and you think, oh my god, the boss sets the rules, the house will always win. So that's why I always thought about this guy. He always kept driving around. I haven't seen him since in a long fucking time. We moved from that area from a while, but man, I fucking saw him all the time. And like I said, I'm not saying he did illegal shit. I'm just saying this is the shit that he would do. He would, hey man, you want to make $1,000? I'm guessing it was either his side hustle or his main hustle because it was on the weekends or whatever. But I don't know anybody who worked for him, so I don't know. But like I said, you handed me $1,000. How hard do I got to work for you? How hard do I have to work for you? How much am I making out of that $1,000? That $1,000 ain't free. Am I on call? Are you gonna fucking call me up when I'm working? Now I gotta make not only your $1,000 back for you, but I gotta make net fucking profit for you. Now I owe you fucking something. And I like when people are like, what you mean? Like you gotta make something for them. The house always fucking wins. The boss will always get over on your ass. Don't ever think you're gonna ever beat your boss. Your boss has you fucking here when you're here. When people are like, I'm gonna make some money. Remember, bro, payroll. If you ain't making money for the boss, you're gone. Let's put it that way. I mean, the boss has got to be making at least. This guy, my guess is he had to be making At the end of the day, off your ass, you got to be making at least $1,500 more. 90% more off your ass. And, and I never saw him again, but this is how I thought how this guy worked. The minute I told him how, like, my analogy of what he wanted, and he was like, oh shit, this guy kind of knows his ideals. And I was like, he was like, hey man, good luck on your business. I'm like, good luck on yours, bro. Man, that's the last time I've seen him. But I told him, I said, dude, the house always wins. So you hand me $1,000 right now. How many days of work days a week do I gotta work for you? And he kind of was like stunned, like, what the fuck? This guy, why he couldn't answer my basic questions, which were those. How much am I making out of that $1,000? How much do I gotta make you? Because again, the boss doesn't pay you for free. Doesn't pay you for free. Yeah, I applaud this fucking guy, but at the same time, I thought it was funny as shit. And like I said, man, the house always wins. The boss always is gonna make more than you because the boss. I love when people tell me that. Oh my god, like the fucking Elon makes this and this. How many fucking hours did they put in? You don't even know what the fuck they're doing. The boss never stops working. When he goes home, he's always fucking working. And I know this because I have friends that run businesses that never stop fucking working. Even on their days off, they're always checking payroll. They're making sure their company still fucking runs, but their employees don't go fucking broke. Oh, the fucking boss makes fucking da-da-da. Yeah, because he's fucking always working for you. He's making sure your fucking benefits are paid. On his day off, he's pulling fucking money out of his account to make sure you're fucking paid. A friend of mine he does construction, has his own construction company. Some of his employees were not getting paid during COVID. He pulled money out of his own account, his own savings, to pay his employees, to pay their health insurance. So they had health insurance. And I remember he paid fucking a shit ton of money for them. Dakota's sending me photos of Seamus, and I have no idea why. I think he's horny. But yeah, man, people just don't realize how, like, they don't realize how many hours you fucking put in. Well, Jeff Bezos leaves the office. You never leave the office. I'm sure a business owner, your boss, you never leave the fucking office. You never leave the office. You're always working. When do you take time off? I know one boss told somebody, it was a good fucking thing he told, I don't, because when do you take time off? Because I'm on 24/7. Because I remember somebody said something to this one boss. He said that shit straight to the guy. He goes, yeah, when do you fucking clock out? Because I never do. Never clock out. That's why. Because he drove up in a nice fucking car. A nice fucking truck. Brand new truck. That he put his money into. And he told the guy. And he goes, yeah, man. He goes, man, you got this nice truck. He goes, yeah, because I work for it. He goes, when do you clock out? He goes, I never clock out. He goes, how the fuck do you think you got paid this week? I made sure fucking payroll was on time. I made sure your materials were coming. I made sure your fucking guys were not starving. And I was like, whoa, this guy fucking went off. And he went off on his employee. He went off on his foreman. And the foreman goes, and he goes, you know what? I made sure you weren't fucking struggling for missing supplies. I made sure you had people today. I made sure you guys had food and water and fucking the correct material today. But you don't see that. He didn't realize his boss was going out and doing things above him. Making sure they had water, the correct generator, fuel. While his fucking foreman was doing some work, he was making sure the shit was working. He made sure payroll was on time. He made sure his people had insurance. He made sure the office was running properly. The shit you don't see your boss doing. Oh, I never see my boss. You saying your boss? You need to see your boss all the time? Your boss may have things you don't even fucking know about. He's probably got another agreement with somebody else, or he's trying to get a partnership with some fucking company, trying to get you guys tools or what have you. And I found that shit kind of weird. It's like foremans are like, oh, the boss is never here. The boss is always fucking out having fun on the jet ski. Maybe that's that boss taking some fucking time off because he's been working his fucking ass off. But that's a surprise that the boss said this to a guy. This is a story that I read. This foreman was talking about this. Because he went after his boss one day on camera, brought his phone in and yelling at his boss. And his boss said, do you think I deserve that new truck? And he goes, well, we're all struggling. He goes, oh, are you? Are you? Have you not been paid? And the guy goes, I've been paid. All right. Is your kid starving? No. Are you behind on your bills? No. Do we have another job coming in? Yeah. Did your team have blah, blah, blah? Yeah. Then shut the fuck up. He goes, I'm doing what a fucking boss does. He told this guy this. He told his foreman this. Shut the fuck up. He goes, you don't know what the fuck I do. I hired you to keep an eye on them to make sure the jobs are getting done correctly. I'm making sure the shit's running smoothly. I'm making sure payroll's getting done. I'm making sure supplies are getting delivered correctly. I'm making sure the correct people are getting fucking hired so we have more people to come in. I'm interviewing. I'm fucking doing things you don't even know. I hired you to do one fucking thing, to keep an eye on, to do your fucking job. And you're questioning my job. And that foreman just fucking stood there and was like, sorry. Yeah, I didn't know. He didn't know. All he had to do was fucking ask. Where have you been, boss? How's your day going? That's why I never questioned my boss. Where the fuck he's doing. Oh, he's working. He's got his fucking notepad in his hand. Yeah, they take some time off. Maybe they deserve it. But like this boss told his foreman, because his foreman called him out. Oh, you got a new truck. Yeah, you think I deserve it? No. Really? You don't think I deserve it? And that fucking boss was out doing all those fucking errands that, you don't see the boss doing. Making sure the correct partnerships are set up with Home Depot or Lowe's or another fucking granite company they need to use for countertops or whatever. You don't know. The boss is fucking hiring people so they don't lose staff because people get sick. Making sure the correct insurance was put in that. I started kind of laughing. I was like, it's true. It's true. Now, I'm going to say I got some shitty bosses at the place I work now. I'll say that right now. Not I will say her personally, but jeez Louise. But there's my tangent. Let me open up the next one. Probably beautiful email. Person left me a kind response. Alright, we're almost done. Let's see what time we're at. 1 hour. Wow. Last note to myself was, what's the biggest mistakes I made? How can I leave you all with something? One of the biggest mistakes I've made. Getting into debt. Probably the one fucking worst mistake I did. Getting into debt. It took a lot longer. I'm a procrastinator too. I procrastinate a lot. I sit down, I think low of myself. I second guess myself a lot, which is good to do. Because you can fix a lot of your problems that way. Getting into debt was one of the biggest ones. The biggest one I still regret till now because it's really been the biggest hurdle over my fucking head. It's here. There's not a day I go to bed, not a day I wake up. I'm not thinking about it. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get out of it. Talking with National Debt Relief, which is based out of New York City. I wish I got in touch with them sooner. They are not the end-all be-all of fixing the situation. What they do is they consolidate your debt and they put it into a monthly fee. I've only paid 5 of those fees since COVID had become a thing. I'm behind by many payments. I'm on a 60-month deal with them. And I don't know how I'm going to pay it off. Now, the credit cards were not the worst thing I've ever done. I was good with my credit. The problem is how I got into it. Is we ended up getting a home. I'm on disability and I'm working part-time. Which means you're only allowed to work so many hours. So if you don't know, if you're on disability, you're only allowed to work so many hours per week. It's usually around like 20 hours maximum at your pay rate. And then that combined your income, needs to equal this for disability, and then that's what you get. If you work over, they hit you. If they work under, they give you a little bit extra, but it's not a free fucking government program, so don't ever think that. For those listening, going, oh my god, he gets free money. I do not get free money. I pay my fucking taxes. It is not the end all be all. It is more of a hindrance than a helpfulness. I have a friend right now who is on disability completely because he was a truck driver 2 years ago. And then getting into a trucking accident and ending up fucking his back up. And two of his discs, I believe, one of his discs is fucked up. It's like powder. And they had to do back surgery, and he can barely stand up all the way, and fucking pain up the ass, and, he's got to take fucking, stuff, and he's got to do this, and his wife's a teacher, and then, he was telling me, no one said this was fucking this horrible. He had to go to court, and then file for disability, long term, so he's physically disabled. I mean, he was making good money. He was making $5,000 a month just in trucking, maybe more. He had to sit home, and then the company ended up bringing him back. They felt bad, because they needed it in the dispatcher. So I was but he was like, why didn't nobody fucking tell me the disability is so fucking hard? You can only make this much, and my family, we're struggling. My wife's fucking got to do this and this and this and this. And then the fucking, he's like, luckily the house is paid off. We're struggling with the car payment, and the medical bills, and they're fucking piling up. And I was just like, yeah, people think it's free money. It's not free money. The government gets theirs, sweetheart. The government gets theirs. So if you think you're going to win against the government, good luck with that shit. It's not. But I explained how I got mine is, opened a credit card, used it, paid it off, paid the proper fucking balance, did my thing. It just added up. Luckily, with one of the stimuluses, the first stimulus, I paid my brother's credit card off completely, paid that shit off. I paid the $700 balance that I still had on it. That one took me a lot longer to pay off than I thought. That one I paid off because I thought, I don't want to fuck him up. And I paid him off. I apologized to him. I was like, I paid it off. Now I have my own. Now my $8,000 I don't really owe. I owe $8,000 of back fees because I couldn't pay a payment. They added up. So I think my actual credit card debt is $5,000. I think. But because of all the back fees and all that shit that they add on, and shit that they add on, and shit that they add on, and shit that they add on. Now, again, I was buying shit for the business. A few things were fun things for myself, things I needed. But I paid that off too, and it is what it is. A lot of it was business debt. At least $5,000 to $6,000 of it was business debt. The rest of it, I believe, is from late fees and add-on fees that they like to fucking add on because they can. And that's the one thing I can tell anybody. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. I want to get out of credit card debt so fucking bad. And my one friend told me, we were talking the other day, and how's it going? I was like, I don't know. I don't even know if going bankruptcy is the option with COVID and shit. I don't want to be in debt all my life. I want to clean the fucking slate and just. Once the house thing was horrible, I got in here, we had a massive fight with my family, and that fucking you need to start paying your fucking credit cards and this. And as far as I live, it's hard to get to work and pay that shit. So when you're doing a business, know that these things do pile up. Know if you can't start something, maybe one step at a time, like I said. One step at a time. Don't be stupid like me and fucking let that shit kind of snowball into something. I should have gotten a hold of somebody quicker and said, hey man, I'm struggling. How do I get out of this? That was my stupid mistake on my own self. I'm still debating if I should look into bankruptcy attorney and see if I can get out of that. If anybody isn't a fucking bankruptcy attorney or knows somebody that's like, hey man, let me help, I'll gladly fucking talk to you. I will gladly work out something with you, but I just want to get the fuck out of debt. I don't want to be in it anymore. The scary part is, like, I don't even answer. I wrote NDR the other day, National Debt Relief, and they're very kind. They're very kind people. I told them the whole situation. I'm like, guys, I'm fucking struggling. I said, I am getting no hours from work. This is going on. That's going on. Right now, we're in a slow period of real work, so I haven't even been doing 3D printing work because it's not making any money. I've been studying software and shit like that and building shit in software to learn because I'm learning skills are a thing. So, like, learning SolidWorks, learning ZBrush, learning the programs, I could take those out of the company and freelance myself out to somebody else and be like, hey man, here's what I charge for my skills. Skills are becoming the thing. College degrees, fuck college degrees. Fuck them. It costs more to fucking college. The sad part, I feel, and I feel so bad for all my fucking friends that are college debt. College debt doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. It does not go anywhere. I know the Biden administration that was a big push. So one thing I learned about National Debt Relief and all these debt programs that college debt, they can't get rid of that. They cannot get rid of that. They went to my whole entire profile and they go, okay, you don't own a car. You have a house that's you're co-signed with. You just have credit cards? I was like, yeah, that's it. They went, you can't pay that? I said, no. Like I said, the scary phone call, they tried being scary. The Discover card tried being scary. Because they had 3 people on the line. First it was a lady who got a hold of me, and then it was somebody else who got a hold of me, and they said, is this Allie? And I'm like, yeah, well, Allie's my real legal fucking name. My real name is Ali. So, that's a whole the ball game. My name was misspelled. Long story. Fun story, but long. Just, my dad misspelled it, yada, yada, yada. I said, this is he. And they go, hey, this is Discover calling. You missed a few payments. And I fucking literally went after him. I said, you know what? I'm going through some shit right now. Have I ever missed a payment? They look back and, no. So I haven't missed a payment. No. I've been on time. Yes. Now, do you think I'm going through a hard time? We're trying to help you. I said, trying to help me. And then I realized, like I just told him, you don't fucking scare me, guys. I was like, I can't pay you right now. I don't care if it's fucking ass. Well, do you know it's being discharged? Yeah, and I don't care. I don't care. Well, I told them. Then fucking COVID hit. COVID fucking. Everybody's credit cards are, as far as I know. What the fuck do you do? What the fuck do you do? I even told them, what are you going to take from me? I have nothing but a house. You're going to take away my fucking garnish my paychecks? I make nothing. But that is the worst mistake I've made so far. So, I think this year I need to, I may just go for bankruptcy. Just go, hey, fucking wipe my slate clean. Get it cleaned. I don't care about the fucking credit or anything like that, because, got a house. Don't need a car or anything. I'm not trying to buy anything new. A friend of mine was in worse debt than me. He had to be at least $80,000 in debt. Yeah. This is a guy I work with. He was so badly in debt that he was, drinking every night. His finally got wiped, but he had to pay $1,500. But I will talk to a CPA and see what they say. I don't want to go bankrupt, but I want to pay it off like a real person, but it's the worst mistake I've ever made. I feel like that's the worst mistake I've made. And, probably one of the worst ones I've made, but I can't complain. Sorry, my ears popping and popping and going. I don't know why. So that's the one advice I can give you. Don't get into debt. If you don't have it, don't spend it. There's no reason for you to fucking spend it. Make sure your books are in order. Number 2. So look into QuickBooks, look into FreshBooks, look into maybe just do an Excel spreadsheet or a Google spreadsheet. And they're not hard. Books aren't hard to make. They really are not hard to make. I don't know why people are. The reason why people go QuickBooks, but it's just easier for it to format it for you. And I also know if you're a car person or you're doing like Lyft and Uber, it also does the mileage trackage for you, so you can track your mileage. So that's pretty cool. But I've got fleekies all over my shirt. But yeah, you can use an Excel spreadsheet. I know somebody who does all this shit through Excel. It's all labeled correctly, and their materials, this, their time, all that shit's in Excel, and they send that off to their person, and they take care of all it for them. And, accounting takes care of all that. I know this wasn't a podcast that nobody liked, or just me blabbing on about going off tangent, but yeah, it's my podcast, and I just wanted to tell you guys what I fucked up on and what you should do. Do your DBO. You're doing business as. Costs nothing. Trademark cost you something. If you are looking to get trademarked, I swear, please check out Jeffrey Strumman. I'm not even trying to blow smoke up his ass. Guy's a good attorney. I didn't even get to that story. So, Strumman, I ended up talking with him, and I wrote a notice of to all these attorneys, hey man, this is what I can afford, run a budget, here's what's going on, here's who I am, blah, blah, blah. And he was one of the 3, the best one of the 3 that was willing to work with me and just been hey man, give me a call. And I'm I can't afford, he could just call me, I'm not going to charge you. The one guy said, which I didn't keep his shit because I know Jeffrey wanted to kind of not rat him out, but kind of report him to the board of the attorneys, because the guy told me, what did he say? It's an extra. The guy gave me a quote for $1,000 to speak with me, and then whatever. But the one thing I will say that Jeffrey told me to do is look up. You can go on the USPTO.com and look up names and stuff like that, and do some of your research. So if you're looking for a certain company name, or what their mark is for, or whatever, you can save yourself a lot of money and time by doing that. Or you can go on LegalZoom. But trademarking does take a while, so definitely Jeffrey Strumman, I can't recommend him enough. He looked at my name, he was oh wow, you've already done most of the research. I was yeah man, so I'm pretty sure that really helped me out. But honest to goodness attorney, his pricing is not bad. I can't tell you what he charged me because I promised I wouldn't, but he doesn't. He did it because he believed in what I was doing, and I am doing. And I can't thank him enough. He helped me out. I called the call a month ago for the DBO, and I'm hey man, I want to open a bank account, but I don't know, and they're telling me this, and you're my trademarking attorney, so I want to talk to you. And we talked for a good hour. He said, no, don't hang up, let's talk. So we talked for a good hour. I explained everything to him about COVID and all this shit that's been going on with Universal, and he asked a couple questions about that, and we just spoke real people, and we just spoke about the business, how's things going, what are you working on, what are you printing, can I send people your way? I'm hey man, what can I do for you, how can I help you, That was my biggest thing to him, is how can I help you, It's good to build partnerships too, decent partnerships with people, because he did it right. He spoke to me like a fucking human. He was did you ever find out who that attorney was, by the way? I said, what? Oh, no, I deleted his thing because it was bullshit. He wanted $1,000 up front, and then the filing fee was I think $1,500 to $1,600. And Strumman was yeah, that's a bit high for a filing fee for your mark. That's not correct. Blah, 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 blah. Can you give me his stuff? And I was I gave him a name, who the guy was, but I don't know what went of it. But I didn't have the full email. But Jeffrey didn't like that. He was that's not correct. You shouldn't be doing that. If this guy's trying to take you for a ride, I'm Yeah, and that's what I don't want to be taken for a ride. So, if you're like I said, again, looking for an honest attorney that's not going to fuck you, who would rather see you succeed as a business, yeah, you're going to get charged a flat rate. It's not going to be what I got charged, but you'll be getting charged. If you're looking for a fucking good attorney that's going to be like, hey man, we need more of that in this world. We need good fucking people that are like, hey man, fucking do this, it's sad. And that's how I feel with, like, what I do with printing and shit for my clients. I treat them like fucking clients because, like, I'm tired of seeing people get fucked over. Like, you shouldn't make some fucking money, but don't fuck a person over. I always realize that, like, when my dad's a technician, and I've always wondered, like, what the fuck? Why are all these mechanics charging fucking X, Y, and Z? Fucking charge the right price, charge your fucking fee, you're making some money, your fucking shop's paid for. Don't overcharge them. Charge them the fucking fee you need, Don't fucking be like, I'm gonna charge you this and add stupid fucking parts they don't even fucking need and say you did, Not saying my dad did this, but this is shit that working around shitty mechanics, I saw. Because my dad worked at Dodge, so I saw the shit that they did. It was a lot of fucking work, real work, not shitty work. But if you go to like a mom and pop mechanic, they're just gonna fucking add some people. And there are really some good mom and pop mechanics that are fucking working their asses off to build their fucking company, to keep their fucking shops full. And those are the ones you want to go to. If you see the fucking the parking lot's full of cars, people waiting to get their shit done, chances are the fucking dude that's doing the work is pretty fucking good. And that's how you get business. Your fucking door will never stop coming. People will never stop coming to you. Word of mouth is a fucking best advertisement you can ever get. I don't understand why people don't want that. People want... Word of mouth is like the best fucking advertisement. You do one thing good for a customer, the next person's going to come in and be like, so-and-so told me you were good. I'm okay, I'm not great. I told people that. Like, one guy was like, I heard you were good. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm not great by any stretch. I did some work for him. He fucking loved it. He was like, oh, dude, I got to get you in touch with these guys. Worked with them. They loved it. They saw it. They gave me a heads up, Worked with another person, big makeup artist. Worked with them. Gave me the word of mouth. Said I was decent. Said, hey, he knows this shit. Talk to him. So that's how it works. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand this mindset of shitty quality, shitty work. Like, let me overcharge him because I can't. No, fucking charge him the right price. Charge him quality fucking price. Don't overcharge him. Don't undercharge him. Charge them the right fucking price for a quality fucking work that you do. They're going to come back. If you fucking do good work, quality work, they're going to come back to you. Your name will be put out there and go, hey man, go check out so-and-so electronic. Go check out so-and-so electrician. Treat them fucking like a person. Hey man, here's what I found. Here's what you should be doing. Good luck with you. Hey man, here's my card. Fucking, any other friends that need work, let us know. We'll be glad to help them. We'll see you soon. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. If it does, come back our way. We'll help you out. That's how it should be. But fucking companies are so me, instead of the fucking customer first. It should always be your customer. You should be making some money. That's for damn sure. But, I don't understand that mindset. Like, I've taken that shit to heart. It's like, be a good fucking artist or worker, and then the shit's gonna translate back to you. The problem with me is I charge a little bit much for my work, but my clients don't fucking realize how much work I put into the work. They get to see the finished product, but they don't see all the duds and the imperfections and the sanding I had to do and clean up and realizing I didn't get paid for any of that. One client, I fucking undercharged him and I was like, I really should be making money off of this. And I really didn't. I broke even. I was like, man, I broke even. I didn't even make anything. I made like, what, $5? It's like, shit. Because of the material, the time, electricity, and I sent him like, one of my clients realized that. I said to him, I go, hey man, just give me a little more time. And then he realized, he was like, oh yeah, I trust you. I got him done right. He fucking was like, ooh, I didn't realize you were working on your shit. Yeah. I showed him the dud bucket and he was like, oh, whoa. I didn't know you worked that way. I said, listen dude, I'm not handing you something I wouldn't hand to myself. If I'm not happy with it, you're not going to be happy with it. He wrote me back. He fucking understood. He was like, agreed. So we both agreed to terms. Like, if I'm not happy with what I'm doing, you're not going to be happy with the quality I'm going to give you. let me figure it out. Let me get it done right. Yeah, I'm gonna make fucking nothing off of you, sadly, but, you know, it is what it is. I'd rather give you quality over quantity. But, you know, that's life. But those are the mistakes I fucking made. The worst, like I said, the worst thing with my debt, you know. I'll figure it out. I'm sure, but that would be one hell of a stress. I'm trying to have no fucking gray hair in my hair. No gray hair and a goatee. And a soul patch. But, yeah. Yeah, it's been a rough one. It's been a rough year for all of us, but I'm going to keep trucking along. Have you guys come along the journey. I don't know when Up Past Midnight's going to do its thing again. I can't wait to do another one with Dell, but it is what it is. If we come back, we come back. If we don't, hey. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you for indulging me on this long trip. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for everything. And keep an open mind. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one.